Transmantics. 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 Yeah, we're back. So what I find interesting about the... Okay, girl, I'm gonna let you in because you're being a lot right now. Say hi. It's like, I don't care about them. So I have always found it very interesting how the trans activists will say just about anything to defend trans ideology, even if it means saying complete and utter nonsense, even if it means making the farthest leaps in logic, even if it means using the most amount of transmantics. They will say it. Whatever it takes to defend their position. And I have some sympathy for these people because the fact of the matter is they've been taken in by a cult. This is a religious thing. It's religious to believe that someone is the opposite sex or no sex simply because they say that's what they are. Since when do we put faith ahead of science and then call it science? It's creationism for the modern atheist. I mean, you got these women who have already yeeted their titties off in the name of this faith. You got men who have already yeeted their penis off and gotten a faux vagina, what they would call a real vagina, even though it literally is just a penis turned inside out. I don't think a penis turned inside out counts as a vagina. But, like they've already gotten it done, right? What's the point of going back now? You've already done the thing that could potentially make you miserable for the rest of your life. You might as well go head first into the deepest depths of this cult and take as many people down with you. You might as well. And these other trans activists who are not even trans, they've got all these friends and cousins who are trans. So it's like, this ideology can't be harmful. My friend is in it and they say they're happy. Well, I guess that's the end of the conversation then. Damn the statistics that say most people will desist within their lifetime. Damn the statistics that say suicide only goes up after they get gender surgery. Damn it all. Let me just say what I got to say to keep this lie going for a little while longer. And that's where the transmantics come in. Transmantics. Okay, let's get into it. So I've been around on YouTube and TikTok, and usually every time I see a trans-centered video wherein the person is advocating for trans ideology, I can't help myself. I say, woman equals adult female human. And then the trans activists are like, no, you're wrong. These are the reasons you're wrong, even though they don't make sense. So let me show you just a few things that some trans activists are willing to say to get you to believe in their religion. Now, mind you, this is not stuff that I've been compiling over the last 3 years that I've been 3 years. It's been 3 years. I've been researching this stuff for 3 years. This is not stuff that I've accumulated over 3 years. I literally just started documenting this stuff like a week ago because I'm fucking dumb. Fucking dumb. Anyway, let's get to it. So the first one I came across was this video.
Being trans is unnatural. God gave you a gender. You can't just change that. God gave you small boobs, but you still got a boob job. God gave you wrinkles, but you still got Botox. God made you bald, but you still got a hair transplant. God gave you crooked teeth, but you still got braces. God gave you a big nose, but you still got a nose job. God gave you bad eyesight, but you still wear glasses. God gave you a unibrow, but you still wax it off. God gave you nails, but you still put on acrylics. God made you hairy, but you still get lasered. If being trans is against God, then respectfully, so is your whole body. Shut the fuck up.
So what I find interesting, and it's I'm going to make a video about this at some point, but do you see how religious people are always making light of the genital mutilation that happens in the name of the religion? So in some places in Africa, they're doing female genital mutilation. They're cutting off little girls and women's clitorises in the name of God. Jewish people are cutting off little boys' foreskin in the name of God. And trans activists, I assume, like yeeting titties and whole penises in the name of God. In the name of believing that person is the other gender. My bad. That's different. That's totally different. It's totally different. My gender identity. My bad. This literally reminds me of something this Jewish guy said to Christopher Hitchens in this thing I was watching the other day. Or he was like,
I've got to call you down on referring to circumcision as genital mutilation. My son cried more at his first haircut than he did at his bris.
okay. So let me go through this point by point, because obviously they're all fucking stupid, but let's do it, because I know that's what y'all want.
God gave you small boobs, but you still got a boob job.
So these trans activists, I don't know why they're pigeonholing all of us, but they all assume for one reason or another that just because we don't subscribe to gender ideology, that means we do subscribe or are okay with people getting boob jobs. I don't like that shit. I think it's detestable, personally. I don't like the idea of anyone messing with someone's boobs unnecessarily. I think people who do that have some type of dysphoria. And I think that extends to people in the trans community who get these surgeries.
God gave you wrinkles, but you still got Botox.
Once again, not on board with that stuff.
God made you bald, but you still got a hair transplant.
Oh yeah, hair transplant. That's comparable to doing life-altering hormones and surgery.
God gave you crooked teeth, but you still got braces.
Braces are mandatory for a lot of people. People can't, that's not purely cosmetic. People can't chew correctly if they have crooked teeth a lot of the time. I know for me, like, I had to get braces. I didn't even want fucking braces. My dentist told me if I didn't get them, I was gonna have jaw pain in 5 years. And I didn't want the jaw pain, so I got the braces. What the fuck are you talking about? If the trans people can't
get their sex organs cut off,
you shouldn't even be able to have braces. Duh.
God gave you a big nose, but you still got a nose job.
Once again, not on board with it. Not on board with it. I think people should embrace their natural features, even the sexual ones.
God gave you bad eyesight, but you still wear glasses.
Friend, we need to see. We need to see. Do you want me to be blind? What's wrong, friend?
God gave you a unibrow, but you still wax it off.
It's hair. Why are you comparing hair that grows back to life-altering surgery and hormones?
God gave you nails, but you still put on acrylics. God made you hairy, but you still get lasered. If being trans is against God, then respectfully, so is your whole body. Shut the fuck up.
Sir, disrespectfully, everything you just said was fucked up.
There's also this other issue, and this is an issue with the trans stuff in general, where it basically blends the purely cosmetic with what is medically necessary. So which one are you talking about? Are you saying that they're both the same? Are you saying that gender or any identity is so deeply held that you have to be constantly changing how you look on the outside in order to match how you feel on the inside? Is that what you're saying? Like, think deeper about this. That's all I'm asking.
Transmantics? What in the Transmantics? All right, let's go on to the next thing. Next thing. So someone made a video defending the trans stuff while downing Donald Trump, which, like, you know, fine. He's obviously a dictator. He fucking sucks. I think we all know that. A dog shit human being plus dog shit opinions on most things, the overwhelming majority of things. But even a broken clock is right twice a day. And Donald Trump was right about two things: the trans stuff and getting rid of the penny. I hear a lot of gender critical people saying, oh, even a stupid person like Donald Trump knows what a woman is. Friend, Donald Trump has no personal interest in pretending he does not know what a woman is. And all of these liberals do. So specifically what I said was, no, the trans stuff is the one thing Donald is right about. Sex-based rights are sex-based, not identity-based. And that's exactly what women, adult human females, fought for. The first response says, this argument doesn't work if you view women and females as the same word. Anyone identifying born or otherwise woman is fighting for rights, and they should keep it not selectively based on some random hatred of a minority group. You're wrong. Why would I view woman and female as the same word when within the context you're saying it in, woman is anyone who identifies as woman and female is anyone who identifies as female? Female is a scientific term, meaning anyone who has XX chromosomes and a vagina. It doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. Anyway, in response, I said, trans identifying males, I meant to say males there. You know, this language is so fucking convoluted. Sometimes you slip up. Trans identifying males are not women and should never be allowed rights based on something they are not. Female people have problems specific to them, no? And how can we properly advocate for ourselves within law and medicine when men and boys, biological males, are being counted among us? The only way this makes sense is if you care more about the opinions males have of themselves than the biological reality of female people. And this has always been a problem. They were already counting males among us just by only doing medical studies on men. This is a thing. This is medical misogyny, having all of the studies that are supposed to be aimed towards women done on men because men are simpler. Men's bodies are simpler. They take medicine easier, and they are they're saying, like, we can't put women in the studies. They'll fuck it up. They'll force us to actually put some work into this medicine that's supposed to be for women. Funny. And let's fuck that up even further by throwing some trans women in there. Let's throw some males in there who think they're women, who believe they're women, who profess to be women, may not even believe they're women, just profess to be so. Let's throw some of those people in there in those motherfucking studies. See how that works out. That'll be good. That'll be good for females. Yeah. Next comment is, funny how you say the thing he is most wrong about is the one thing he's right about. Is that the thing he's most wrong about? Oh, is it? He's literally the officiator and the spearheader of people being abducted, raped, tortured, taken away from their families. But trans people not getting the medicine they want in order to look like the other sex. That's the biggest issue. That's what he's most wrong about. The entire reason he's even kicking out so many immigrants is because he wants black people to take those jobs, because he basically wants us to be slaves again. Not that we ever stopped actually being enslaved. Look up the 13th Amendment. You're not enslaved unless you're jailed. And who makes up most of the population of jail? Black people. Black people. We're like over 50% of the population in the jails, even though we're only like 13% of the population. But trans people not being able to look like the other sex is the real problem. When. Oh, you guys. Oh, you kill me. Oh, you guys fucking kill me with this shit.
This is a Democrat hoax that never ends. You know, it reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more, and nobody's ever satisfied. From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given, but it's really a Democrat hoax.
So my actual response What I said was, funny how you think male people get to change the definition of woman, the word of which does not describe them. And you would have any man that says he is really the other sex in female only spaces. Yeah, that is funny. That's a knee slapper. Next comment. So you're pro sexism. This one is my favorite. Whoever you are, you really fucking tried it. You tried it with this one. So you're pro sexism. Believe that rights should be determined by sex. No, rights belong to everyone. That's the most men's righty movement thing I've ever heard. Basically, outright saying that women don't deserve their own rights. Rights based on sex. I don't care if you guys are oppressed. Everyone deserves your rights. The rights that are specific to you based on your sex. Everyone deserves those rights. Come on. Go read some feminist books, please. You're ignorant as hell. This is just trite. This is just nonsense. They'll say anything. Believe in my religion. My religion says a man could be a woman. You have to believe in it too. Or you're a baguette. You're just a baguette. Anyway, let's go to the next thing. So I came across this video where this guy was talking about how he didn't find out that his female friend was female until their funeral. Where apparently their parents, their family, put them in a dress. Now, I've got some thoughts about that.
A few years back, my friend exited this corporeal dimension of their own means, choosing their way to go. They decided to figure it out themselves, and by all means, we were all sad. Everybody was sad around the campfire, singing their praises and figuring out what was going on. And by all means, we had to go to the funeral, and the funeral is always a tragic event. It's not really catered all the time. I was hoping Chick-fil-A would be there, but Chick-fil-A wouldn't even touch his funeral because my friend I discovered at the funeral was a trans man. Didn't know that. No clue. Didn't figure that out. As a matter of fact, I just thought they were a dude the entire way through. Didn't know they were trans. Didn't really feel to care about it. Never asked the question. Had always appeared to me to be a guy. That's just what I feel and fair. And I already knew inside of my whole chest that they go off the energy of deep misogyny inside of their chest. I can feel it inside of their soul.
Weird thing to say. So then I say the misogyny you were feeling from her was internalized, and it was the reason she felt the need to transition at all. And then some dude said, that's a man, not a woman. And honestly, I'm guessing the guy meant to use another word like masculinity or brotherly, but got confused and said the wrong word. Right. So let's talk about her parents putting her in a dress. That's obviously not what she would have worn to her own funeral. What I noticed is that a lot of these trans identifying people tend to come from extremely conservative backgrounds where their parents stress gender roles to the point where it's like there's no breathing room. None at all. Women have to be one way and men have to be the other way. So they figure, oh, if I want to escape that, I have to become the other sex, which is wild because that's impossible. What people need to understand is that this entire concept of gender is truly a performance, performed for the sake of familial and just general validation. Pretty much everyone of both sexes does this within every culture. It's a cultural thing. And culture is not reality. It's simply ritual. Ritual that you do not have to participate in. You can say no. Trans activists always swear by this testimony that they're destroying gender roles. Well, I say you're reifying them. You're giving them weight. Telling people that in order to align themselves closer with social conventions, they must change their sex, get hormones and surgery in order to become more like the other sex. But identities change all the time. So what happens when you get all of these hormones and surgery to try to be something you're not, and then your identity changes? What happens then? What that's my question. What happens then? This stuff is not reversible. It's literally and meant to be irreversible. I forgot to ask this, but also, what about if customs change? Because customs do change all over the world at any different point in history. You can point at one society or another who did things very differently when it comes to gender roles and just, general aesthetics and how one sex differentiates itself from the other. Let's get to the last thing. I am very quickly running out of steam. I put adult woman equals adult human female. And who wants to change that definition? Oh yeah, people classified as men. Here comes this one person responding. Where does that definition come from? Not science or medicine. Dictionary definition of husband used to be male of the house, and wife used to mean woman. Dictionary definitions don't tell us everything we need to know about life or identity. Now, this is the height of semantics if I've ever seen it. Using the definition of woman that men came up for us in olden times, in old England, as a way to try to confirm men as women. Blows my fucking mind. So let's dig into this. I'm just going to read my responses because, there's nothing else I can do. First, I said, none of that is true, which, okay, to their credit, it was true. But I'm going to explain why it was stupid. So I said, none of that is true, but regardless, even if it was, the definition that exists now is directly linked to our biological nature, which is tied to health care. And including males not only puts female spaces in jeopardy, it degrades the quality of care in general, which I talked about earlier. Men are being included in studies on women now, and they always have, but just in a different way now. And that's thanks to people like you. Because being inclusive at the expense of women is progressive. Not to mention black women in jails being raped by men who call themselves women. Yeah, that's a real thing that's happening. Because like I said earlier, black people are most of the jail population, including in women's jails, where men are being housed alongside women. And yes, they are raping them. Yes, they are intimidating them. And trans women tend to have a male pattern of criminality because guess what? They're fucking men. And so here's what I followed it up with. I looked up what you said about the definition, and that comes from Old English. And boy, do I have some news for you. Humankind in biology extends back way farther in history than England. And I'm sure the words in which they described themselves had a lot more to do with their actual biology, which is male and female. Those are scientific words. Also, English isn't the only language in the world, and pretty much every other language also refers to adult humans as either men or women. Why? Biology. I love how insular these people always are. Like, they're not thinking about literally anything else besides what's happening in their own little bubble. Fuck everything else happening everywhere across the whole fucking world. This is what's true for me, and so it's what's true in general. Gender roles have been different for all types of different cultures, but let's zone in and solely focus on the culture that's specific to this time period and this location on earth, and say that it's the truth of how people gender. Because yeah, that makes sense. It's actually so fucking crazy. And here's where I fucking hitch slap this bitch into next week. And this is what you have to do with these trans activists every single time. You have to use their own logic against them because their own logic does not make sense. So they will trip themselves up on their own logic every single time. I say, I'd also like to highlight how the definition of the English word that meant white person illustrates perfectly how it's women who are subjugated specifically for our biological nature, as we are those who can give birth, and patriarchal men seek to use that to their own advantage for their own profit, and they change the language to create a reality in which that was the only option. Thank you for proving my point. Oh, past me was cooking. Ooh, ooh, oh yeah. I fucking cooked your ass. It's been more than 3 days since I responded to all of these comments, and none of them have responded back. I wonder why. Could it be because they have nothing to fucking say? Could it possibly be that I've blown up their spot? Could it be because I forced them to contend with their own logic and they've realized that it doesn't make any sense? This is just good old Transmantics in the name of moral high horse. So yeah, that's the end of the video. If you have made it to this point, thank you for watching the entire thing. Like, I put a lot of work into this stuff. Man, I am fucking mentally tired as fuck. Making these videos takes a lot out of me. So thank you so much for watching till the end. It means so much. It really does. It really makes my day when you guys watch all the way to the end. And with that, I have been Reslinda. I make gender critical commentary videos and commentary videos in general. I'd love for you to subscribe or follow so that you can see more of my things. And I hope everyone has a good day. Mwah! Bye.